You train for years to master the science of medicine, but nobody trains you how to run a profitable practice. And that's the part most physicians don't realize. Until your revenue stalls, staff issues pile up, or they start wondering why they're working so many hours but taking home less money. It's not because you aren't a good doctor. It's because running a practice requires a completely different skill set, one that you were never taught. In this video, I'm going to break down the business and leadership skills every physician needs before stepping foot in a private practice, and how you start building them now, even if you already have a private practice, but maybe feel a little lost on the business side. Medical school trains you to diagnose, treat, and save lives, but it gives you zero training in leadership, operations, and financing. So the moment you open your doors to your own private practice, you're not just a physician anymore, you're also a business owner. And most doctors step into the role overnight, without a playbook or guidance, and honestly, without the skills they actually need to run a profitable practice. A lot of us assume that being smart and clinically excellent will naturally translate into business success, but it doesn't. They're completely different skill sets, and if nobody teaches you the business side, it can hold your entire practice back. So if medical school did not prepare you for the business side of medicine, what are the skills that you're missing? And more importantly, which ones will actually move the needle forward? Let's break down the core business and leadership skills most physicians never learn, but absolutely can master once they know what to focus on. Number 1, leadership and team management. Most physicians walk into a private practice thinking the hardest part's going to be patient care, but it's not. It's leading your team, inspiring people, setting expectations, delegating work, and holding staff accountable without feeling like the bad guy. Because let's face it, most physicians don't like confrontation. And here's a little truth. Your team doesn't just need direction. They need clarity, clear communication, clear resolution. And this creates a healthy culture. These are leadership skills, not clinical skills. But the moment you open your door, they become essential. Number 2, financial management. You can't grow what you don't understand. And yet doctors never learned how to read a profit and loss statement, track margins, or analyze your overhead. Many don't even know which numbers to look at and which ones matter. Private practice isn't about guessing what's in your bank account. It's about understanding cash flow, planning for growth, and knowing which services are really profitable. Those aren't accounting skills. They're survival skills for any business, especially in the medical practice. And honestly, this is one of the top areas doctors ask me to help with in my consulting work. Because once you understand your numbers, everything else starts to make sense. Now, if you want somebody to walk you through what your numbers actually mean and show you where your practice can improve, you can schedule a free call with me through the link in the descriptions. Now, number 3, marketing and patient acquisitions. Most physicians clearly rely on referrals and word of mouth. But in 2025, it's really not a growth strategy anymore. It's more like hoping for the best. A thriving practice needs a real marketing plan, local outreach, a strong Google presence, and social media that builds trust. They also need ongoing nurturing emails to all of their patients so they don't forget about you after their office visit. Patients can only choose you if they can find you. Number 4, systems and efficiency. A lot of clinics aren't struggling because they lack patience. They're struggling because their systems are chaotic. Scheduling takes too long, billing errors slow down the cash flow, they have no-shows, and their patient intake bottlenecks the entire day. And I can't tell you how many doctors I talk to who don't think they need documented processes and procedures. But this is why. When you streamline your workflows and document your SOPs, your team can repeat the tasks the same way every single time. Then your practice becomes a well-oiled machine. That's when you finally start getting your time back. Number 5, self-awareness and delegation. This might be the hardest skill for a physician. Recognize what you're not good at and be willing to outsource it. You shouldn't be your own office manager or your own marketer or your own biller. Maybe in the beginning when funds are really low, you have no choice but to be kind of the office manager too. But try to delegate that skill as soon as you can. Hiring specialists doesn't make you less capable. It makes your practice more profitable. The more you delegate, the more you can focus on treating patients. Think of it as working smarter, not harder. It's one of my favorite sayings. So what happens when you don't develop the business and leadership skills? Well, your practice is in constant reactive mode. It's always putting out fires, scrambling to fix problems, and never actually getting ahead. You start seeing symptoms everywhere. Patients no-show, unpredictable revenue that feels like a roller coaster. And eventually, the pressure lands on one person. You're doing too much, you're working too many hours, and still not seeing the progress you expected when you open the doors. That's where burnout starts to creep in. I want to make sure you know that. It's nothing to do with you being a doctor. It's because you were never given the business foundation you need to run a successful practice. But here's the good news. Every single one of these skills can be learned. And here's how to start building those muscles. And you don't need an MBA to do it. You just need the right tools and a clear starting point. First, start reading business books written for service-based businesses or healthcare. Two of my favorites are the E-Myth. It's for understanding systems. The E-Myth teaches that most small businesses fail because the owner is greater at the technical work, but never learns how to run an actual business. The solution is to build systems and processes so the business can function consistently and profitably without relying on the owner to oversee and do everything. The second book is called Traction. This is for building a clear operational framework. Basically, it's putting the right person in the right place for the right job. And if you don't have time to read, audio might be a really good option. This will help make learning effortless while you drive. Second, invest in some targeted education. You can do a weekend course on medical practice management, you could join a workshop, or you could hire a consultant who's already familiar with helping other physicians build a successful practice. Even a short online course can save you years of frustration. Now third, don't do this alone. Join a physician entrepreneur group, whether it's an online Facebook group, a mastermind, or a local medical business forum. Being around other doctors who are building a practice gives you ideas, accountability, and a support system that you don't get in traditional medicine. Number 4, take an honest audit of your current operations and finances. Look at what's unclear, what feels messy, or what's constantly breaking. Tools like your KPI dashboard, practice management scorecards, or monthly P&L statements to review can help you see what's finally working and what isn't. And finally, implement change one at a time. You don't need to overhaul your entire practice in a weekend. That's just going to stress you out and everybody else. Start with the area that's causing the most pain. Maybe it's scheduling, maybe it's self-communication, maybe it's cash flow. Fix that and then move to the next. Small improvements lead to big improvements. Learning the business of medicine is a muscle. The more reps you get, the stronger your practice becomes. And the sooner you start building those skills, the smoother your journey into staying in private practice will be. Now, if you want to know what numbers actually matter in your practice, the ones that actually drive your revenue, efficiency, and growth, check out my next video on the KPIs that every medical practice should look at. I'll break down exactly what to look at and why it matters. See you in the next video.